Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's your man, KaleafWins, and welcome to today's show of the KaleafWins Show. We're going to have a lot of fun today. It's going to be a lot of education up in here today. I am here joined by great, long-time friend, Dag. I don't even know how long, I think about how long I knew her for. But the topic of today's show is, what's your pleasure? Insights from a sexologist. And I'm here joined with Char. Everybody, come on. Give her love, give her love. What's up, sis? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Listen, I thought about it. We knew each other for 20 years, yo. That's crazy.
It's been a long, I think it's over 20 years. I
Oh,
think
let's
it's
not
been
say
over
that. Let's
20
not do
years.
that. Let's not do that.
Hey, I'm going to speak facts when facts is due. I think it's over 20 years. Yeah.
Dang, it's been over 20 years. You know what? At
Oh,
least we're alive and breathing and cracking jokes on the
listen,
internet. And we're going to talk about it today because I think that you have a great. It's funny because I hate when people use phrases like this. Oh my God, she has a calling. No, she literally has a gift to talk to people when in regards to helping them figure out things about their intimacy levels and their sexuality, even when we were at college back in the days. But before I even say anything further, I want to give everybody a piece of idea of who I'm speaking to today. Let's go. Now, in today's interview, we're talking with sexologist, licensed, let's get that correct, sexologist. And today's topic of the show is, what is your pleasure? Now, Char has been coaching for many years in a non-professional capacity and a regular capacity because that was what she's always been about, helping people. She earned her certification as a certified sexology coach that specializes in sex, relationships, and intimacy, and she loves working with people to assist them with their sexual, intimate concerns. It always warms her heart to be able to listen to and hear the concerns of a person challenged with sexuality or intimacy in that fashion. Char has fought the battle to fit in or hide her truth throughout her time. She struggled for many years for what was normal or what she thought was normal and how to deal with living life to be happy. Now she is happy to help individuals, happy to help couples, and happy to help groups to push past their struggles to succeed in all type of relationships.
all the way
Now,
facts.
here are the real results. Char's coaching has completely transformed my relationship with my partner. I'm so grateful for her guidance and support. Here's somebody else, Quinn Davis, saying Char's approach is both compassionate and effective. I'm amazed at the progress I have made under her guidance. Last but not least, Sandy Williams says working with Char has been a life-changing experience. I highly recommend her coaching to anyone seeking to deepen their intimacy. And I really congratulate you for this work. Like, it literally is bugging me out because you're a certified sexologist when 20 plus years ago, you were in dorm rooms really helping break people's chains, their self-internal abuse, about coming to terms with who they are. And look at you now. And I just wanted, the first question I'm going to ask you, how does it feel that you're actually working in the field that you were like professionally in this capacity when it was something that you've always done previously? Like, how does that like blow your mind with that concept?
You just took the words right out of my mouth. It blew my mind to really sit around a table and actually have women sit there and they're pouring their hearts out about, just different issues and concerns. And like it just popped in my head and had questions that we were sitting asking and answering, and one of the questions I received was, well, if you weren't doing what you currently do as a career,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do? I said, I'm interested in being a sexologist. And everybody around the table that knew me was like, that is you. Yes, you have no problem with talking about sex with anybody. And I'm like, facts. Yeah, you're
And
right.
guess what?
Yeah.
Even the comments is giving you shout outs right now. Right now, Nora says, "Hey sis, let's go." Fam Dudley says, "I'm here for my sis." Christy Lee Griffin said, "True sister." Again, comments don't lie. And let's
Thank you
just let
guys.
me just. I got so many questions to ask you. Let me start with this. How was your personal journey and experiences influence your approach to sexology and therapy as a whole?
Oh, man. Personal experience. I mean, hey, we all been having sex, the
Hmm.
umbrella, as I like to call it.
The umbrella.
The umbrella, because I mean it's a wide range, because you do have that intimacy, but when you start with intimacy, then it leads to other things. But like it started a long time ago, and it just really it just grew. So for me, I can't even, like, it just blows my mind on how far back it has been. Um, it all started out in I want to say high school basically because I was helping high school classmates with some of their concerns, not even knowing what I was really doing and somewhat not even talking about. I'm only basing it off of my little bit of experience that I had, and it just grew. And like you said, in college, people would come to me with their concerns, and I'm just telling them what I knew
You were
and
the
my own
treasure chest of
experience.
you were the treasure chest of little information. She was the college campus information lockbox of secrets.
And I literally was going with what I only knew personally. And it just grew from there. My own personal experiences have led from, trying this, trying that. Not saying, I'm all out there wilding out or anything, but I don't have an issue with just saying, I want to try that.
Hmm.
Let's try that. Because the only way you're gonna figure out what you like is if you try it.
That's a fact. Listen, I'll say this: the reason that what you do is so important, and the fact that you're actually working in your passion, and when people are passionate about what they do, they really just go all in.
Yes.
You are fighting against the common norms of misconceptions and
Yes.
the stigmatization that's really hurting people out there. They're sitting with this. So
Yes.
the second question I want to ask you is: what are some common misconceptions that people have about seeking help from a sexologist? Because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that." There's a resistance to change. What are some common misconceptions?
You are so right. There is a lot of resistance from it. Basically, a lot of people just think it is just sex. Like I know what I'm doing or whatever. But if you dig deep down inside and really think about what you really like
Hmm.
some people never even had an orgasm. Some
That's a
people
fact.
never even touched themselves and masturbated to find out where is the nice sweet spot on their own body.
Hmm.
Some people, I don't even like that. I don't even do that. But well, if you don't do those things, masturbation for one, if you don't do it, how do you know what spot you're gonna tell your partner or partners what to hit, where to touch, where to kiss, where to caress? If you don't caress across your own personal skin to find out what you truly like.
That's a fact. Listen, now that you say that, how can individuals overcome the initial hesitation or fear of seeking help for sexual issues to understand how much of a resource you are as a sexologist?
Um, I would just say just dig deep and just reach out. I mean, we all walk in fear of something. Um, and sometimes we just don't want to, get down to whatever that root is to figure out what is holding us back, where is it deriving from. Just reach out. Just, take that leap of faith and see what is holding you back from moving on to speaking about where you can go into the next phase of your intimacy.
And this is why I'm glad that I have you on right now. And for anybody watching this, again, you don't have to live with hurting yourself by your own misconceptions about your sexuality or hypersexuality
No.
or what people may label as sexual dysmorphia or the external labels. And everybody go into the description, get a consultation. Our website is directly in the description, and we're going to actually start that conversation off right now. I want you to reflect off of what I'm going to play regarding a certain issue when it comes to sex. Let's go.
Okay.
Now, if my partner comes to me and states, hey, I no longer want to have sex anymore, I'm just don't want to, I'm not into it anymore, no problem. Don't have sex anymore. That's your right. I would never take that from you. But what about me now? Because here's the deal. If my partner now expects me to also just go sexless for the sport of it, I'm going to need a full PowerPoint presentation. Because to ask me to give up my sex, a way that I express my love and affection, doesn't really make much sense to me. I mean, unless you can't have sex.
It broke my heart that I could never do it for him. I'll never forget the day we sat on our couch in the living room and he was like, I just want to have a really honest conversation with you. And I just want you to like tell me exactly what it is. Not this cute answer, not what you think I want to hear, none of that you've been telling me that you're working on it and it's just you and you in your head and all that. Like for real. And I told him the truth. It's a disconnect. Like I'm not naturally attracted to you in that way. And it's probably nothing that you can do about it. And his face, it was like, you remember Mortal Mortal Kombat when he would go in the chest and smash the heart out. That's what I felt like I did. In this whole be honest with me, I was like, the man asked me for honesty and I gave it to him, but I don't think that that's what he was thinking I was going to say. And that was pretty much the beginning of the end of our relationship.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Then the weird part for us, that was when the whole open relationship dynamic was introduced and almost as a means to save our relationship. And in the moment, I didn't think that that's what it was, but I later learned that that was like last ditch effort and a really, really, really bad effort because it pretty much tore us apart. I wish we had never done it. I don't have a lot of regrets about anything in life. That's one thing I very much wish we never did. It wasn't for us. And that's also not something you should do to save your relationship. Threesomes, bringing other people into your bedroom to save your relationship, really, really, really bad idea. If it's something you all just like, you think it might be sexy or cool, great, knock yourselves out. But bringing a person in because you're trying to put a Band-Aid on something, super bad idea.
I can't hear you.
I said, pardon me, this is why the work that you do is super important because there's a ton of people in our childhood, whether it's family members or friends, who are holding all of these frustrations. And then when they would share it with somebody, the hearer wasn't trained or wasn't blessed with the ability to understand and direct them to information. And that's why I take your work seriously. Like, yeah, we're friends, great. I love you, sis, but cool. Your work is needed. But see, that's the thing. These are real life issues. And if you had two clients that came to you and shared this to you, what would you share with them as possible directive-based solutions or next steps if you had those are your clients?
First client, that is a serious matter that quite a few people actually go through, um, where their partner is dealing with some issues that they just don't want to have sex with them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but why should that other partner be, you know, rejected or not even allowed it the opportunity to have someone else to fulfill that need?
Mm-hmm.
We do have multiple needs that one person cannot meet. So with that being said, is you have that option to possibly go into a non-monogamous lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
That person can fulfill areas of finance. Another person can fulfill an area of sexual needs. So when you get into those different dynamics like that for that first client, then you do have to ask, so what would you like to do when she's coming to you in regards to something like that? So
Mm-hmm.
what is your actual need? Are you just looking for the sex need? Because she stated she needed that person to touch, be intimate with them, to show her affection to them. So then they need to have that conversation. Communication is the key for everything. For everything. If you cannot speak to your partner to find out why they cannot physically have sex with you, and they be honest, just like the second client stated, then we have already an issue right off the bat because the communication was already in some type of turmoil, that
Mm-hmm.
you are not open enough to be able to discuss your needs with your partner, your best friend, you're married and you didn't live these years together or dated for a long time, but you've known each other for such quite a long time, and you don't have that openness to be able to communicate what you actually need, is a problem, or what is holding you back. That is where your disconnect at. So you won't be able to bring an additional person in to fulfill those other needs
Mm-hmm.
because your first situation is already shot or even broken. So for the second client, like she stated, they tried to bring someone else in and it went kaput because they were already broken and not communicating
Ooh.
from the beginning.
Ba-
So with
hold on,
her,
hold on. That's a bar. But that's a bar though. How many past relationships does anybody watching this have? You had like three X's fly up in my brain. The lack of honesty in
yes,
general before that degree of intimacy interferes with
with
intimacy. Like you ever
every
been with somebody and you're like, yo, I'm in love. I love them. They're really great for me. I really love everything about them, but I don't want to have sex with them anymore.
but if you can be in love with somebody and all of the goodness, but if you don't have that communication to just speak on how you feel, what you need, where you're trying to progress to, and whatever else the topics are, if you can't speak on those things openly and honestly and allow them to have the space to receive what you're saying, then it's not going to work.
Well, let me ask you, how can couples rebuild trust and connection after a period of sexual disconnection? Because that's an
Ah,
important question.
that's a
That's
good
a real one.
question. That is a really good question. The best way they can do that is basically sit back, do some self work, and find out what is going on with them first, because as we know, you can't allow other people to love you if you don't love yourself. So if
Hmm.
you start working on yourself and start to rebuild yourself, doing some type of self work, if it's journaling, auto recording yourself just to see where you're at, and building on that to build yourself on up, then you can do a whole lot more with your partner after the fact. But you need to start working on self first to be able to allow that second, your partner, or I say that second person because you're the first person, that
Hmm.
second person to be able to come in and really, really love on you the way that you need to be loved. So that's how you will start rebuilding on any type of situation that you have with your partner.
And that's why it's again, I like the fact that there are now in 2024 versus what it was 20 years ago. Can you imagine, sis, like how many men and women or people that were live the trans lifestyle and were hiding it, or people that were gay, straight, bisexual? We're talking when we were in school. Imagine how freeing
And
if
it
they
be,
knew there was a resource of a sexologist.
yes,
Because society, especially 20 years ago, 10 years ago, well, hell, in certain states in America, certain places in the country now, in certain
yes,
households, certain religious households, whatever it is,
you
it's
can't talk about it.
so you treat people, a ton of people are treated like it's the worst thing ever to
People
have
are
these discussions.
they're so scared to even just talk about sex.
Hmm.
Like saying the word sex is a problem for a lot of people, and I don't understand it. Like I like to say, I don't think regularly like most people. So for me, it is like so bizarre. But a lot of it stems from a lot of childhood trauma or
Hmm.
just your upbringing, because you weren't taught to speak freely, or you weren't able to go to your parents to talk about the birds and the bees and learn the correct verbiage for your penis and your vagina. You weren't taught or been able to just learn those things that we supposed to have learned in health class. So all of those things kind of dictate on how we do, perceive our lives and go on and do what we think we're doing the right thing, and it's not that way.
Like, I know there's going to be married folk watching this, couples watching this, and this is why I'm asking this very important question. How can couples that are ready to have this conversation, this really tough conversation,
Mhm.
navigate differences in sexual preferences and desires if they're in a monogamous marriage or a monogamous relationship? Because there's a lot of people that need tips, because it's a scary discussion to have if somebody's used to looking at their partner in one way. How can couples really navigate these conversations? It's important.
We grow every day, and I'm saying this from experience. We grow every day. Our needs are not the same needs or likes or dislikes we had yesterday. And with having those conversations with your husband or your wife or whomever,
Hmm.
those are very important, but you will be able to express what you want today, possibly tomorrow, is not what you probably liked in a monogamous relationship before. You had your favorite meal 10 years ago. That don't mean that favorite meal is still your favorite meal come
That's a fact.
tomorrow.
That's a fact. The only meal I've eaten my whole life
Cuz
and I can eat forever is curry goat, rice and peas. Jermaine curry goat, rice and peas. The only thing, like,
you
there's certain meals I have
you
forever and certain
could
meals I'll cut off. Because I used to
ex-
be a pork
that's
crackling champion as a kid. I
see.
cannot eat a pork crackling to save my life now, but I totally understand. I'm just,
And
I'm just,
that's just, it's the same thing with intimacy though. Your likes change.
hmm.
What your flavor was yesterday is not your flavor that you may like tomorrow.
But do you see the
So
openness in what you just said?
yeah.
The society as a whole
Hmm.
doesn't look at our preferences and what we like and what we used to like and having that type of conversation
Because
as a
it's our
norm.
culture. It's our
Yeah.
culture. Our culture, we've been programmed to believe we're supposed to have it this way and like it the same way for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
You don't, you're a human being. I used to like McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's anymore. I like Wendy's. So, my preference is totally different than what it is before. So, it is nothing wrong with having that conversation. And it's nothing wrong for your partner not to agree with your preferences as well. That may mean that you have just grown a little further into learning what that other person may need to get a better understanding.
Oh, say that one more time. That last part was this. That's a bar, Sparty. I'm from New York. We gonna say it's a bar if it's facts. That's a bar. Say that last part one more time.
You will just be able to, excuse me, be able to just learn something new about your partner that you may not have known about them before.
Now, then this is a tough one right now. Suppose you're in a relationship or a situation where that other partner doesn't want to go to the Mount Valhalla of coming that you want to go to. How do they navigate that? Because sometimes, whether it's a man or a woman, whatever it is,
Mhm.
some people don't want to go there no more, but they've been in that long term relationship. Like, what would your steps and strategies will be for that individual dealing with that?
You know what? That is a difficult one because you get comfortable
Mm.
with that person. And it's just that it's the comfort. But if you feel in your heart that you are in this certain manner, why would you need to change who you are? Why do you need to take a step back for who you actually are?
Hmm.
Instead of just be yourself. And if that is who you are, you might have grown out of that relationship, and that person just could be fulfilling a friendship need or a good companion need, and you still moving in a space of comfort, but in another direction as well.
All right. I mean, you're dropping facts. Everybody, please go to her information in the description. I want to bring up one more scenario so we can just discuss it on the back end. Let's go.
Okay.
Hypersexuality due to a mental disorder. People got to understand there's a difference from having these sexual impulses or hypersexuality for the enjoyment. And when it's connected to mental disorder, we're not having these hypersexual things because we want to. It's something that we cannot control. And sometimes we most often are doing it to relieve stress or when we're feeling certain type of way. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna cut to the bullshit and we're gonna keep it real because this is what we're actually here for. We're here to actually talk and be open and be vulnerable because I'm sick and tired of being alone. I'm sick of tired of thinking that it's only me when it's not you. It's not me. It's not only me. It's something that I cannot help. And when you're trying to get people to understand you and you don't even understand yourself, you're trying to grasp the situation. You think you think I want to be a pervert? You think sex is the only thing that I want to have on my mind? And to be misunderstood and to be called a hoe or anything like that, and they don't even understand why you're doing what you're doing. You're not doing it for the enjoyment. You're doing it to release yourself. You're doing it because you feel like you have no choice. You're doing it because it's compulsive. Hypersexuality due to mental disorder is real.
I'm going to say something that might hurt your feelings, but also change your life. You are not sexually liberated. You are dealing with hypersexuality due to being assaulted. And having more sex, unfortunately, is not going to get rid of the sexual assault that you've experienced. Because hypersexuality is a coping mechanism to numb emotional pain, try to regain control, and even an attempt to reclaim your sexual agency. But it is important to recognize that hypersexuality can be disruptive and distressing to your life and your relationships.
That's what I'm saying. Sexuality is not a monolith. It's not a single issue. Everybody has their different opinions on the issue. And that's why I'm glad that you're on because you're actually trained in information that will free people up and direct people to different ways. Now, again, when I decided that I wanted to speak to you and actually bring you on my platform, I was like, wow, I'm going to do some research. And in my research, I was like, wow, I kept on seeing aunties, cousins, friends, best friends in the research, especially when it came to the sexual assault area as to why certain people are hyper sexual,
Sexual.
or as they
Hmm.
call it, hypersexual, or people weren't assaulted, but they just have a drive and a high level of libido and they felt imprisoned by their marriages.
Hmm.
And that's how cheating happened and infidelity happens and things of that nature because it's more easier for people to cheat than to
Cheat.
have the real
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
That's something I would like to discuss you, especially with the people that you've worked with. What are some scenarios that you've seen on how they address the specific area of hypersexuality, since it's not just one thing, not one cause?
Well, I mean, we all, if you hit that right good tone, we are hypersexual. You got you when you find that one you starting off, it's like, oh, okay, all right, we in it. Let's get it. And you jumping around like rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
But then after you get, like I said before, comfortable, then it kind of dies out because now you're not in that honeymoon stage of learning that person. You know that person. You know what spots to hit. You know how to clench them kegels real good to make it do what it do for that, for that man or whatever. But when it comes to like real hypersexual because of trauma,
Mm-hmm.
that is a whole nother beast by itself. That that is something people are they shun away from just trying to deal with the pain and actually go see a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the difference between what I do versus what a therapist would do because I am a actual coach, not a therapist, and I don't want to take away from nobody's degrees that they went to school for actually being a therapist. Um, I am a certified sexologist coach, and I can coach you through your current and your future likings of sexual needs and your intimacy and your relationship. So when it comes to past trauma and abuse as a child through teenage years and things of that sort, I would refer someone to really sit down with a therapist and deep dive into all of those needs because that is something that you will need to really speak to someone about because those are some really deep um I hate to call them issues because they're not issues because no one ever did that or asked for that to happen to them. So I hate to call them issues, but concerns that you really need to deep dive into get an understanding on how to cope with those scenarios.
I think you're part of a, a, a care team. I used to be a
Yes.
care manager for a foster care agency, and I was part of a team when it
Hmm.
came to kids with multiple needs. They had
Yes.
psychotherapy needs. They dealt with sexual assault. They dealt with a
Yes.
whole bunch of things. But there was the psychiatrist, then
Yes.
there was the sociotherapist, and then
Yes.
there was the behavioral specialist.
Yes.
And I think that you doing what you do is a part of the team
Yes.
to heal those scars. Stage
Yes.
one, deep sexual assault and trauma, therapist.
Yes.
Stage two, they connect with you to address other areas and things of that
Yes.
nature. Like Fam Dudley put scars.
Yes. Lots of
Scars.
scars.
Um, Christy says, I concur with this. Things change with intimacy, and you have to be okay to communicate that to your partner. And
Yes.
see, that's what you do as part of a care team of a couple, a care team of a relationship, a care team of a single person trying to figure it out. Your role is important for that lane. Everybody
Yes.
has the lane. And I
Yes.
really want to touch on a couple issues. How can individuals with hypersexuality address feelings of shame or guilt associated with their behavior if it isn't from sexual trauma?
Find somebody that can can hang on with you. Really, because I mean, you should not hold back from what you desire and how you want to deliver all of your pleasures to someone. I mean, somebody in that enjoys BDSM, they will find a club or somebody that can be either the submissive or the dominant one. So seek out somebody that is on your level. Tell get on my level because most people hold back from what they really want to do. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
why hold back? Why? Your door is closed. You in wherever you at. Do what you do. That's your business.
You're right. And I know for some people watching this, they may have cousins, they may have relatives that really struggle with different areas. How can family members and loved ones support somebody struggling with hypersexuality? Other
Mm.
than telling them to go to the link in description, go to your website and set up a consultation. I'm
Other
a
than
plug.
that, um, if they know of their family member like really, really dealing with hypersexuality, really just sit down and just talk to them because a lot of times they really do just need somebody to talk to. And then you can refer them to me as well if they don't feel comfortable with talking to a family member. But with that being said, it's all about just understanding what they truly need and how to express it genuinely, but also in a manner that is not harmful to themselves or anybody else.
No, that's super important. How do you believe that individuals with hypersexuality develop a healthier relationship with their sexuality? Because we don't know each other. Like you said, something that's so true. A lot of women that I've spoken to, because I've always been the homie the homie and things of that nature, they'd always tell me I've never had an orgasm with my husband or never had an orgasm with my friend. And they have high level libido. So how can individuals with hypersexuality like literally develop a healthy relationship with their own sexuality, outside of what you just mentioned? Because I know there's so many different ways.
I was gonna say it is multiple ways to dig into that, but for somebody that is really like struggling with it and really want to be with their partner, it's a fact that they would need to maybe incorporate toys,
Mm-hmm.
incorporate other forms of intimacy, not just sex,
Mm-hmm.
because they sex is not intercourse is not just sex. So you can start your day off with sexting and making sure that you're getting to a level that's building up, and by the time the evening come, you're hot and bothered, but you probably won't get it in like you think you're gonna get in, because you didn't got all riled up so much that it may not even be as what you think it may be, because
A
you
little titty in the
prolonged it.
text, right? A little more than
Exactly.
titty in the text.
Exactly. You waking up to the good morning, babe. How you doing? What you wearing? You got your t-shirt and panties on. Like really get in it and like prolong it, and text all throughout the day just to make that build up happen. And it may not even be as high as they think it is because of that buildup, but just the little things do count. And it's sex, it's intimacy.
Mm-hmm. Since I was a kid, and this was super taboo, like 30 years ago. I'm about to keep it real. 13. Yes, I'm that old. The grades have a reason.
Look, you telling your age for real.
But they used to have private swingers clubs. What's going on? What happened? I didn't hear you.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. We're live, everybody. We're live. This ain't pre-recorded anyway. But 30 years ago, there used to be private sex clubs, New York City, and things of that nature. Now it's getting more to the forefront. To the couple that really have never, they're too afraid to even go there, or they're concerned about things of that nature. Explain to the, maybe I'm not going to use the word naive. Explain to the unknowledge couple or the unknowledge married couple that's been married for a long time that are thinking about, probably exploring swingers clubs and things of that nature. If you have any knowledge that you would like to share on that.
Research first. I really, really, really push for that. Research first. Find out if that is something that you actually are truly into, because we all think of things that we may be interested in,
Mm-hmm.
but that don't mean that it may be something that you are really into. So research it, look into it, see if you might even know somebody that is into it and can give you more information about it. um and if you do find a club that you are interested in, go try it out, walk around, be a voyager, go watch some people.
Voyager. I like that.
Yes,
Be a voyager.
that's what it's called, being a
It
voyeur. If
is?
you like to
I
watch
thought you
other
made that
people
up.
no, if you like to watch other people have intimate relations of some sort, and I say relations because it could be any and everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you like to watch, then you can be a voyager, go watch, or go get your own cabana and have others watch you. Some people like to be watched and don't like to watch others.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go experience those things if you can find a swingers club or just a sex club overall. If
Or
that's your
try hedonism.
or
Go to a
hedonism,
hedonism
yes,
event.
them
Yeah.
islands are amazing, as I hear. I'm trying to get to one, but I haven't gotten one any yet. But I'm trying to get to one. But like try it out, go check them out and see if that's something that you like. You may not even be interested in it after the first time, but stepping into something is all about research, just seeing if that is something that you would actually like.
Yeah, what I do when I have friends that call me, I
Hmm.
usually connect them on the three-way with my other friends that live in
Are
that
into it.
lifestyle, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know what? That's my homie. She cool. Her husband's mad chill. Just go and just go chill, and they
Check it
do it
out.
through the cosign and things of that nature.
Yep.
And I also say something to the fellas because I've had callbacks in those scenarios with my guy friends. Before they call me like, yeah, me and my wife is down with it, and then they go. My homeboys call me back, yo, son, I ain't got the
I ain't
stamina
get
I thought I had. I ain't got
this.
the stamina I thought I had, brother.
It ain't
These
what
some
I thought
damn
it would be.
Olympic ass athletes right now. I don't know how the hell niggas on 30 Red Bulls or something because I'm just sitting there exhausted. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got friends telling me they got to go to the gym to go back to another club. I'm like,
It could be a lot going to a club because it's so much going on. You have the clubs that I've been to, you have the areas of they have theme nights. So you got all of the theme going on. Or you have kink night where you get to experience some of the kinks that go on. And then sometimes it just, somebody just throwing a birthday party or whatever, and they have their own theme. Or they have a DJ. Like you can really, really mix and mingle. One club that I've been to, they actually have it set up just like a regular dance club. But if you go up them stairs, yeah, it's not even a dance club no more. So, that's where all the action go on at. So when you have those scenarios, it's like make it what it is, enjoy yourself, go walk around, mix and mingle with people, talk. And that's a good place to get some research
yo, for real.
information from because they've been there, they've done it, or doing it. So I would say live it up, get your research, talk to any and everybody that will be able to give you the good information that you are seeking.
Now, you've been doing sexologist based work for over 2 decades. So I know this to be true. From what are the things that you saw 20 years ago in terms of hurtful, self hurtful behavior? I mean, talking about thought processes and things of that nature that have changed for the better in 2024? Or, and also, two-part question, and also, what are some behaviors that you have consistently seen men and women go through when it comes to sex that are still prevalent even from 20 years ago and it's still happening now when people come to you for that type of assistance? Because this is a very important question.
I'm gonna go with the second question first and then answer the first one because if I gotta go back that far, I got to think back. But the second question is really easy. Um, to just try to touch base on that is is people basically just hiding themselves as the difficult part. That has really been a very difficult area for clients and people that I've just, friends, family, and whomever that just want to just talk to me and tell me some of their concerns. They have really not sat in their shoes really, really good and tied them up because they don't want to, they can't allow themselves to move forward with whatever they really, really want to do. So that part I've seen it, heard it multiple times. Now
Mm-hmm.
to answer what has changed for the better,
Mm-hmm.
from coaching to now, first coaching to now, I would say watching people, um, in college we seen a lot of people say they got turned out.
Mm-hmm.
No, that has, I would say, that has stayed the same. But for the better part of it, people are not ashamed of who they are
Mm-hmm.
when if they even thought about it before in the forefront in the past and they're actually acting on it. I feel like that has changed for the better. We are more upfront, um, in regards to you're seeing a lot more people saying, "Pfft, I'm out here, I'm loud, I'm proud, this is who I am. I don't care what you think about it. This it is what it is."
Well,
That
talking about back when we were in school, big shout out to the pioneers who were loud and proud in the roughest area to be loud and proud.
Listen,
Big shout out to Shaka. You know what I'm saying?
listen.
Big shout out to Shaka.
I
Big
love
shout out to
her.
Shaka. Listen, there's a cool Shaka story. I'm gonna say this on my live stream. For those who don't know, Shaka was the first transgender woman I ever met. And here's a story. At school, Shaka dealt with cultural resistance, religious
Everywhere.
resistance. But Shaka would still go to like the MVP events and just sit there and be like, yo, this is me. And none of y'all doing
And I
nothing.
love
And
her
I'm going to
for it.
still praise the Lord. Here's a
Yes.
funny story. I spent the summer, my sophomore year in Chicago, and I ended up in a wrong neighborhood. Common had a free concert, right? I was like, I'm going to this neighborhood. And the neighborhood wasn't really a crazy neighborhood, but it's Chicago. I'm from New York. You know, you don't watch when you walk. And I got like literally in this situation, and then I heard a deep voice from up the block. Hey, yo, leave him alone. He with me. It was Shaka. Shaka saved me from an ass whipping and some dope ass pumps. she had some dope ass pumps, but you know Shaka can fight. And me and Shaka chilled to have a drink, and I was like, wow, it just broke at my. This is 22 years ago. Well, I think 22 years ago.
I can believe it.
Shout out to the pioneers. You know what I'm saying? Who took the
them.
lashes.
Yes. Love them. They really like they 10 toes down was in it. And I commend them totally for it, because a lot of us, and I'm gonna say a lot of us, because I was one, was not able to sit in my own skin in college. I can talk to you about it. I stood in the union, had the condoms, and smacked it on the floor. Like, it is what it is. You be who you are. But I wasn't in that space. I
Mhm.
wasn't there yet. And so I truly commend all of them to be who they were, even in their young years.
Mhm.
And a lot of them better at it to this day.
Mhm.
And I love them for it.
I never forget my god brother. This is a true story. My god brother was in New York, and he came out in my neighborhood, which was primarily West Indian Caribbean.
Hmm.
And I had to escort him up my block. My god brother, we're talking 96. Yes, I'm
Oh,
that
wow.
old. He went to Georgia, came back from Georgia, was so freed,
Hmm.
was so freed up. And the thing that was crazy, before he left New York to go to Georgia, he was like, man, I need to learn how to talk to girls. I need to learn how to talk to girls. But he wasn't being himself. And it was like no girls trying to holler at him. When he came back and he was out and loud and proud, a gay male,
Hmm.
he came back. I was on the train with him in New York. I was like, yo, before you left, you had so much trouble with women. But now you mentally freed up. Your whole energy's different. Like, women are throwing themselves at you and you're not even feeling them at all. At all.
Why is that? It's like, why do we do that? And I'm saying we, just as a culture, do that. Why do we go after someone that is not interested in us?
Because it's the black culture.
Culture.
Like, you want to
Yes.
get deep? Like, we get deep. Like,
Like, why do we do that?
it's our
You
culture.
see it every day because people assume that that is what you're supposed to do.
But again, this is why your profession of sexology should be
Hmm.
taught early. Like when my
Yeah.
daughter is 16, I don't have a problem with going to a class. Well, then again, I'm in New York, so they probably start them classes off early anyway. But they need to learn what's taboo is not taboo, and to know
Right.
yourself is to have a particular degree of freedom. Because I think repression is internal and mental slavery. And
Yes.
and in your work, what are common internal repression tactics, and I'm talking thoughts that we have
Hmm.
towards ourselves that you've seen people beat up on within themselves, but then when you identify it, it was so freeing to them? Because I want you to share that information. What are some repression based thoughts that people should just knock out of their mind when it comes to being themselves and who they truly are?
Oh my goodness, you can love more than one person. You have that capacity. You got more than one friend. You got
Mm.
you got more than one pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You got more than like you have multiple things. Why? And people, you have this one friend for you confide in. You got this friend that you do trips with. You got this like you have multiple for other everything else but your love life. Why?
Mm.
That one person may or may not be able to fulfill every need you have. They may not be able to hit that back wall. They may not be able to They it's facts. Like they
The
may,
back
they may not be able to hit
wall.
that back wall. You might need to find that person to hit that back wall. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like you
I
may
like the way
need
it's
the
put.
additional
I like
person.
the way it's put. I'm like, yo, you need somebody to knock on the back door for real. I like the way it's put.
Hey, I'm just saying, like you may need another person, and we have been told that it is supposed to be that one and only. Like, why? Why? Like that is so no. That is not true. We also have been told that you don't you don't talk about like I said earlier, you don't talk about sex. That's just between you and your partner. Why? Why? Like kids nowadays are learning about sex real early. It's at a tap of a finger. On
Hmm.
any stream you open up, it's there. On the
Hmm.
radio, they singing about it. On like every it's open and out. Why can't you just talk about it with them and anybody else?
I'm not gonna lie. You had me at. You got one more. You got more than one pair of shoes. You had me there. That was what my monologue. You know what I'm saying? You have more than one pair of shoes.
And if you don't, I mean, bless your heart, but I mean, most people have more than one pair of shoes. Even if it's
Bless
a,
your
a pair
heart.
of Crocs, if it's a gym shoe, like you have a pair of sandals, like you got more than one pair of shoes. House shoes, you have more than one pair of shoes. Why don't you have an additional partner or multiple partners, whatever your preference is? But those are the things that we've been told that are not supposed to happen. You're supposed to be with one person or be married actually to one person.
Because you're speaking on such freeing information and freeing content, you're obviously going to get a resistance. So I'm gonna have a two-part question. I missed a two-part question over here. I'm still tripping off. You need somebody to knock on the back wall. That's hilarious.
I figured you would.
That- it's just. I'm about to use that so many times in
Hey,
conversation. Like, hey, do you have somebody doing that? And that,
back knocking on that back door.
back door. Sorry. All right, great. You're saying freeing information. Anytime you say free information, there's a level of resistance.
Mhm,
Now, because I know who you are in real life, not just online,
mhm.
how what are some resistance factors that you have dealt with in terms of people's mentalities when you speak about this subject? That's the first part of the question. And secondly, what is your plan moving forward now that you're officially licensed, you're officially ready to go to some business to really fight against those limited thinkers that want to keep people repressed? Very important question.
First answer, um, you said, "What am I gonna do?"
Because you're a change maker in the sense of sexology should be the norm. And
Right?
something that was not the norm 20 years ago and now coming to the norm will face resistance. It will face
Oh yeah,
resistance in social media. It'll face resistance in anybody's places of faith. It'll face a large degree of resistance because culture is hard to change at first.
absolutely. But at the end of the day, I'm really trying to push for people to be comfortable with talking about sex.
Hmm.
Period. Like, be comfortable to talk about sex. Be comfortable to be able to communicate what you need. Like
Hmm.
that is my true push. Like communication is so big for any and everything. Your friendship, your relationship, your speaking to family. It is communication is everything. So that is my true push to really get that understood. The proper way to communicate, not just communicate,
Hmm.
because there is a difference. As I've learned in my own work, you have to really allow somebody to hold space to receive whatever you are about to dish out.
Hmm.
Like they need to hold space for that. And if they're not able to hold space to receive or hear what you are saying, they're not going to hear what you're going to say.
Yeah, I'm not knocking on the door that ain't answering. I'm just, mentally, I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not.
So it's like if you don't allow that person to open up to you and have that honesty and you not receive it, then you're not willing to change anything going forward. So
Mm-hmm.
that is a huge factor that needs to happen is proper communication and being able to function in a good manner of talking out your feelings, talking
Mm-hmm.
out your needs, talking out next moves, and moving forward.
Mm.
Now I done got so deep into that first one. What was the second one again?
Because again, the reason I'm asking this question because I literally saw you in my mind at a big conference talking about this topic on a
Okay.
panel, and then you're gonna get these clout chasing panel people that are trying to come with that old system of thinking. What's your plan? Because again, everything to me, I'm a social media manager by day. If everybody doesn't know that, I know that when a brand comes out and a brand says, "Hey, I'm 10 toes down. This is what I believe in. This is where I go." You got online trolls. That's whatever. But when
Yeah.
you go on a speaking engagement tour, when you go to places, there's always a resistance when there's something new and freeing
Mhm.
in a norm based society that wants to keep it the same way and keep people still in that repressive minds. Like, what is your plan for your brand right now moving forward to address it? Yeah, you're gonna talk, but like, what are the specific strategies that you plan to take? Like, if you're on a panel and somebody gets at you and things of that nature.
Always keep my cool and just let them know, hey, if you want to stay where you at, that's on you. More power to you. But there are other people. If I hit one or two people, I've done
Mm-hmm.
my job because those one or two people gonna affect another one or two people.
Mm-hmm.
So if as long as I can be heard that you are worth everything that you deliver for yourself, you're worth it all. If one person hears that, possibly somebody else didn't heard that last piece to
Mm-hmm.
know that they are worth everything, I've done my job.
Mm-hmm.
I've done my gift. I've done my work.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me go to the comments right quick. Eugene says, allow them to vent. Nara
Listen,
says, foreplay, foreplay, foreplay. Ain't no
listen,
LOL.
sis.
It's foreplay, foreplay, foreplay. Fam Dudley. Who's Fam Dudley? Do we know Fam Dudley?
Yes, I
What
know her.
happened? What happened to Shaka? I don't know. I want to talk to Shaka so bad because I have so many questions to ask Shaka. Real
I
talk.
was gonna say nothing happened to Shaka. I seen her at Dawn Dance this year.
Oh, she was at Dawn
She
Dance.
was at Dawn Dance and Homecoming actually. I love
Oh
her.
man, I've
Love
been
her,
fiending
love
trying to get in
her.
contact with Shaka because I know Shaka got good information that help people. Real talk.
Listen, she
But
is thriving and doing great. I have her as a Facebook friend as well.
tell Shaka I want to talk to Shaka. Real talk. I know
I will give her the
Shaka gonna be
message.
like, Frank, what? For real? For real?
You already know.
Nah, you playing. It's a setup. Nah, there's something to go to this interview right here.
I
But I
love
want
her.
everybody to really understand that this is great information. Char offers free 15-minute consultations, 60-minute one-on-one sessions that are great investments, especially for couples, people in relationships, or especially people with groups. If you're in a ministry in a church, if you're part of a support group, please book Char for this because this information is freeing. She also has 60-minute couple group sessions. You can call or email her to book a session. This is her website, Char's Intimacy Coaching LLC. It is in my description. For those who want to know, it's in my description. Please, 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 please. Another comment. Christy says, we appreciate the nuggets. Hubby and I are listening. Hey, this is that
Hey,
we're thankful for
bro. Hey,
listening.
sis.
Again, what is and I'm going to close off the show by asking you, what is something for couples watching or couples that do watch this? They'll see the title. They're like, let's talk about sex, baby. Well, let me talk about this. What are some things that couples that have watched the replay that you want them to understand about the work that you provide and the help that you provide? Because that's important. Because I think your work's important.
What I what I do and what I provide is healing for one, healing whatever you are working through currently and growing in your own personal journey so you can be better at what you do. It is a must. It is a need to understand who you are, what you like. If you've been suppressing anything of your sexual life, don't. It is not worth the hassle. It is not worth the disease. We make ourselves sick just
Mm,
holding in the things that we want, we need, we desire. And you are not comfortable enough just expressing to your partner that, yo, I need you to drop to your knees.
Mm.
Like, I need you to, do a different position. I need you to, whatever that need is, it's nothing wrong with expressing that. And you can do it in a really loving, comfortable manner and be okay with that. So, what I do will allow you to learn how to hold space for expressing your needs, your your everything to move forward. Because sex is here. It's been here since the beginning of time and it ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And your enjoyment, and to, hey, if you even trying to create life with it, it is well worth everything that you want and desire to do with it.
And we all deserve a healthy nut. I mean, come on,
Listen,
we all deserve a healthy nut. Like, come
yes,
on.
we do.
Now,
Yes,
people,
we do.
and let's
One?
be real.
Just one though?
No, not one.
Multiple. I mean, I'm just saying
Multiple. But see, again, think about that. It's in society. People think it's one nut.
No,
We only
no,
just get just
no.
one
You
nut.
can,
No, you
can
get many.
multiple. Yes.
Fam Deli says, what up, Frank? I was Char's roommate. Oh, okay. Now you're bringing back memories and stuff like that. That's what's up. Listen, that was 3 hairlines ago. that was 3 hairlines ago. You know what I'm saying? For real.
You are silly.
My daughter looks at me now. You never had hair. Yeah, nah,
You had a lot of
I had a
hair,
lot of hair. You
long
looking
hair.
I got that LeBron hairline without his paycheck. You feel what I'm saying? Not yet.
We called you the caramel Jesus. Yes, you. Yes.
She
Yes.
don't know. She don't know how many hours I sat in the braiding chair. with all that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I really thank you for coming on. I want everybody
for
to
having
go
me.
to the description. Everybody give it up to Char. You know what I'm saying? Go to the description and really understand that I really want you to refer her service to groups. Why? Because there's going to the suicide rates in America
Mm.
because the mental health need. This is part of a mental health care plan for individuals.
And that's bananas. The healthcare won't cover it. Can you believe that?
But they'll cover BBL or they'll cover particular cosmetic surgeries.
Yes.
But I guess our mental internal cosmetic makeup
They
isn't
will
as
not.
important. But see, that's
Therapy. In therapy, they will. For coaching, they will not.
well, you know what? Since I'm a businessman, maybe you need to reword that coach word and put it to something more, things of that nature, because it's addressing a need.
It is.
Think about it. How many? Everybody watching this. Last thing I'll say: how many people in your family need to have that free consult, free little mini consult call? Think about it. It's just a phone call. It's a beginning to a process. Nothing helps with just contacting Char in the description and seeing the information. Christy Lee says, signed a social worker. Facts. You know what I'm thinking? Of that nature. Share her information. Do you understand? For everybody watching, when you go to the description and you share her contact information, just ask yourself, who am I really helping with this? Wow, I know somebody that needs this. I know somebody that needs this information. I know somebody that just needs somebody to talk to because the world's calling them a hoe to the guy. The world's calling them, they got problems to the woman. And I'm really big about suicide prevention. And people may say,
Me
what does
too.
this have to do with being a sexologist? Do you understand that repression
Yes.
is one of the leading
Leading
causes to depression
Yes.
or things of that
Or
nature?
suicide. Yep.
And
Yep.
that's why Char is on here tonight, because this is important. Yes,
Yep.
we are here to get multiple nuts. You not
Hey.
deserve just one nut. You
Hey.
need we need
Hey.
that. But the freedom of feeling free, of living how you want to live,
Live life. Yes.
share her information to people that need it. Ain't nothing. Listen, it don't cost to share. Share information. Thank you, Char, for showing it. We're going to be on
Thank
after this live a
you.
little bit. But everybody, follow Char. Support a business, support black business, support black female entrepreneurs up in here. Thanks for everybody up in the
Hey.
chat. Please, if you love my content, want to see me put more videos, go into the comment section. Hey, support my show, donate to my channel. I'm trying to do big things. I would like to fly out to talk to Char in person, go to different places and things of that nature. But
Come on.
everybody, please sell, you know what I'm saying, the fact of This is work that's needed, and there's people that need to be freed up, and that's what Char is for. Share her information. Thank you, Char, for coming on. Thank you, everybody from here. This is the KaleafWins Show, and we out.
Thank you, guys.